So let's just picking up some points from the last video. The body is very, very, very good at getting used to things. So it will get used to you eating pizza and cake all the time. If you do that for months and years on end, you're going to create a bit of a problem for yourself. On the flip side, it gets used to you running or doing exercise regularly, and so after 2 or 3 months it'll become fairly routine for you, fairly normalized. You might find that you can start to increase the length of time you're running, or then add in speed sessions or sessions to get you running faster. It's a really amazing thing, which you kind of, well, I took it for granted, and I think maybe when you're a bit younger you don't really think about these things, but certainly as I'm getting older I really appreciate the fact that with the correct sort of training and a good mindset and a good attitude, your body can really do some pretty remarkable things, especially if you compare it back to previous versions of yourself. I must stress that all this, I'm not putting these videos out as like a didactic, if you do this you're gonna do this, lose weight, blah blah blah. This is just what's worked for me, and that changes and is refined a lot of the time. I'm always thinking or trying to think about new ways to be in better shape or be stronger or fitter or these types of things. But that's the beauty of life, I suppose, is we are all different and everyone's a little bit different, and strategies that have worked for me might not work for you, and vice versa. So, but this is just not a didactic monologue going, yeah, you must do this and you'll lose weight, because I'm just putting out ideas that have worked for me, and they might work for you. Yeah, and just going back to another part of the video that I was just thinking about, it's quite a cliche now, but this idea of if exercise was a drug or a pill that you could take, the benefits are just numerous to your body and to your mind, to your well-being. And I think that's the thing. But now looking back to my sort of previous self, especially in my 20s and 30s, the only exercise I did in my 20s was dancing in nightclubs. That was really about it. Which, once a week for 6 hours is great, but just looking back, the comparison now of looking back to being overweight, I've just got much more energy in general. I feel much sharper. If you really break it down figures wise, numbers wise, I was carrying 60 to 65 extra pounds than I am now. And if you think about that in terms of every time I'd get out of bed, walk up and down some stairs, that's an extra 65 pounds worth of impact on your body. One of the misnomers about running, for example, is that it's bad for your knees, which I will come on to because I think it deserves a proper chat. But if you look at it in terms of carrying a 65-pound backpack on your back all day, every day, that's a huge amount of weight. So I know which one I'd rather be. Choosing or getting the right exercise for you is just doing a lot of sampling. Again, going back to previous videos, sometimes we're kind of conditioned a bit from school. Well, I'm not a runner, I'm not a natural runner, I didn't do it at school, or I didn't do this or that. You're not the same person you were 10 years ago. So just go and try these things. The main aim is just to get you thinking about exercise and doing it 3 or 4 times a week, something that's sustainable, something that's you'll just get into the flow of doing, something that you can repeat, just to give you a base to work from. And you never know, it might grow into something, as with me, it's grown into something a lot bigger than I could ever imagine. But I think that's part of the issue. When you start these things, just going out for these little runs, you can't really comprehend doing a marathon because it's so out of your frame of reference. It's something I've been guilty of in the past. It's like going out for a 5k or 10k and immediately thinking, God, that's a marathon, I have to do that four more times. If you do a 10k, you have to do 4 and a bit more to do a marathon. You're trying to almost walk before you can run, if you'll excuse the pun. It's a bit like jumping out of a aeroplane or having a baby. I haven't done any of those things, but you can only really experience it once you've done it, is what I'm trying to say. Keep on keeping on.